name's Jim. I am the lead guitar player of Hellrazer, and today I'm coming to you from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I've got a 5-question interview that I'm going to kind of do on behalf of the band here for a Q&A for anyone who's new listening to Hellrazer and wants to know a little bit more about us and what we do. So the first question is, for those discovering Hellrazer for the first time, how would you introduce the band and how can you describe Hellrazer using just 3 words? The 3 words I would use to, I think, best describe us is old school thrash. We're all quite varied in a lot of the music that we listen to outside of that kind of thrash metal genre, but no matter where we kind of spread out into the musical realm, that's where we all kind of overlap. And so when it comes to our writing and to our style, I think that's really what comes out with sort of varied background influences that help us keep things sounding a little bit more unique. Our second question is, new lyric video, Fight to the Death, heralds the 5th album. Serve the Machine is the name of the album that's coming up. And what can you tell us about the inspiration behind the song and the themes it explores? So the song Fight to the Death, all our lyrics are written by our frontman with a few tweaks here and there by the rest of us. So Gerald is the expert on exactly the sort of meanings behind it, but the quite literal sort of story of the song is, you know, a gladiator type battle. Think, you know, a battle at the Colosseum, or, you know, a sort of Mad Max Thunderdome kind of situation. And I think anytime that you explore themes about, you know, struggles and one-on-one battle like that, it kind of branches into you know, underlying themes of individual struggles and sort of getting through and fighting your way to the other side. So at least that's what I get from it when I listen to it as well. The third question we got up is, Hellrazer's style draws from heavy metal legends like Judas Priest, Metallica, and Slayer. That's absolutely true. How do you blend these influences into your own sound while keeping it fresh and powerful? So we definitely all sort of overlap when it comes to listening to like those old school, you know, thrash and heavy metal legends like, you know, your Priest, Slayer, definitely like especially the early Metallica albums. But I think the reason our sound varies a little bit, it has kind of some unique qualities, is what everybody else brings to it outside of those bands as well. Our drummer Shigeki listens to pretty much everything. You know, Gerald has a very heavy kind of European classic heavy metal influence, which is a little bit different from the stuff that I bring. You know, I obviously love the thrash metal as well. I'm a little bit more into the sort of new wave of American heavy metal, your Lamb of God, Killswitch Engage, some of the Swedish influences like In Flames. Been listening to a lot of Orbit Culture lately. So quite varied among the guys. And then Simon, our bass player, I think is a punk rocker at heart as well as a heavy metal head. So, you know, there's all these different sort of energies when it comes to writing, all these different sort of styles that are the background of a whole bunch of these riffs, and then when we put it together, it ends up being something a little bit different altogether. Fourth question, Serve the Machine, coming in early 2026. What can fans expect from the album in terms of direction, energy, and how does Fight to the Death fit in? Fight to the Death we picked as our first kind of promo tune because it's pretty in your face, which is what we like to do. We like to play fast, we like to play angry sounding stuff, and it fits right into that. I'm hoping that fans will find a little more, maybe kind of unique variation on this album. I think we took some different directions in terms of writing that we've not really explored before, and did a little more working together writing songs rather than bringing songs to the table kind of completely done. In some cases they were completely done, and there's just little tweaks, but I'm hoping that everyone finds this album a little bit unique, while keeping that real classic heavy metal influence that clearly is our underlying drive. And our fifth and last question is, with a long career, multiple albums, and award nominations, what are Hellrazer's main goals for the near future, both in the studio and live? So live, we always try and bring a very energetic show. We always try and play fast. The goal is for all four of us to be completely exhausted at the end of the show. Try to get fans involved as much as possible, and try to just be as bang on as we can musically. And so, look forward to doing some more live shows and playing lots of the new songs. And then as far as in the studio going forward, I think that remains to be seen at this point. Over the next several months, we'll see if new songs start to form, and we kind of just take it as it comes. If all of a sudden we're on a roll and we start writing, then who knows how soon we might be back into the studio. And if it takes us a little bit longer to get writing, then it might be a little bit longer before we head back. So we just kind of see how it goes and let it come together organically. So those are our 5 questions. I hope you guys learned a little bit about the band. I hope you've listened to Fight to the Death and enjoyed it, and enjoy the new album coming out. And that's it for me, coming to you from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.